Jason and I met. But this time, you'll be hearing my side of the story. The real story. Let me share with you what really happened when Jason and I met. 8 years ago, I experienced my very first earthquake. It was a rainy July Monday, the perfect day to get your heart broken. On the way to school, as I was in the car, I stared out of the window, and a tear fell slowly from my right eye. Have you ever experienced a heartbreak? You feel unloved, unappreciated, and even unwanted. I felt devastated and frustrated, especially when I think of the past, those happy memories, and the future, what could have been. It can never happen again. I was hoping in my heartbreak because I felt my world was crumbling down. Until a friend of mine, let's call him Jess, because that's his real name, told me, you know what? You have a heart problem? I know a love counselor. He also helped me when I was heartbroken. Maybe you'd like me to meet him. So I said, sure, okay. I'd better go with him because I wanted my problems to be solved. So I joined Jess and we went to a house of a friend. And as we were in the house of a friend, I heard Jess talking over the phone. He was speaking in Chinese. He said something like this. But seriously, I kind of got the impression that this person that he was talking to was coming over. So after a few minutes, the door finally opened. And there stood a man in a white shirt and a sweatpants. And then I asked Jess, is this the Chinese guy? But he looks Korean. And so Jess went to us and said, Jason, this is Gia. Gia, this is Jason, the love counselor. So he is the love counselor. I was very eager to talk to Jason because I really wanted to share my predicament with him. So over merienda time, I grabbed the opportunity to sit beside him. And without any hesitation or reservation, I shared with him, you know what, this is what happened yesterday. Because we were just texting and then suddenly, he broke up with me. What should I do? Is something wrong with me? And all the while I was sharing, Jason was talking and nodding like this. I really felt understood during that time. This guy understood me. And soon it was time for us to depart. So we all rode in Jason's car and he dropped us off one by one to our destination. And before I got off the car, Jason said, Gia, I'll get your number, ha? And I gave him my number. When I went home, toot toot, ooh, a text message. It says, okay, you're too pretty to frown. My heart beat so loud. 2 days later, we met again. Jason went to Ateneo to join me in jogging during my fencing training days. So as we were jogging, we started conversing, and then our friendship blossomed into romance. And as they say, the rest is history. At present, that person who made me smile after a heartbreak is now my husband of a year and a half. And since we got married, I've never stopped smiling, frowning, laughing, and smiling again. At this time, when I looked at it, I thought I really learned a lot from that experience. And God has a purpose for everything. My heartbreak had a purpose, and it served its purpose well. I learned the value of relationships because I wouldn't think that relationships would last forever. I think that relationships last forever, so I don't appreciate relationships. I learned also to value happiness and joy because I've experienced some pain and brokenness. And I wouldn't know what it means to become whole if I wasn't broken before. Love is really a funny thing, especially if you love a funny guy. And as Jason Mraz would say, it's so good and nice to have each other at this time. Not just my partner, my lover, he's also my counselor and my friend. Heartbreaks isn't the end. It's just the beginning of something better and something new. 8 years ago, I experienced my very first heartbreak. Like 8 years ago, I also met the person whom I learned to love. And that's how I met